Welcome to Vital Life Stories, where we explore the depths of human emotion and the transformative power of overcoming our deepest fears. In a bustling ancient town, there lived a wealthy salt merchant known for his sharp business acumen and his very timid son. The eldest son was painfully shy, often hiding in the shadows, terrified of speaking up or making even the slightest mistake. His father, a man of high expectations, constantly scolded him, believing that toughness was the only way to build a strong character. Day by day, the constant criticism eroded the young man's spirit, leaving him with absolutely no confidence in his own abilities. One fateful day, the merchant entrusted his son with a large shipment of salt, a crucial test to prove his worthiness. However, due to his naive nature and fear of negotiation, cunning thieves easily deceived him, stealing the entire valuable cargo of salt. Standing alone with an empty cart, panic consumed him as he realized the magnitude of his failure and the wrath awaiting him. Upon returning home, his father's face turned red with rage, his harsh words piercing the young man's heart like 1,000 sharp daggers. In a fit of uncontrollable anger, the merchant threw his son out, declaring him useless and unworthy of the family name forever. The heavy wooden doors slammed shut behind him, leaving the young man alone in the cold, dark streets with nowhere to go. Overwhelmed by shame and hopelessness, he wandered aimlessly, feeling that his life had lost all meaning and he was a total failure. He eventually found himself standing by a rushing river, the dark waters looking like an escape from his pain and endless suffering. As he prepared to take the final step, a gentle but firm voice called out from the shadows, stopping him in his tracks. An old man with eyes full of wisdom and a long white beard stepped forward, sensing the turmoil within the young man's soul. The wise elder did not judge him, but instead offered a warm smile, asking why a young life wished to end so soon. Through tears, the merchant's son poured out his heart, explaining his failure, his fear, and the rejection he faced from his own father. The old man listened patiently, then proposed a deal. "Give me 3 days of your life before you decide to end it all." He promised that if the young man completed 3 specific tasks, his perspective on life and himself would be changed forever. With nothing left to lose, the young man agreed to the challenge, wondering what difference 3 short days could possibly make for him. The first task was simple, yet terrified him. Go into the town square and start a conversation with 10 complete strangers today. His heart raced as he approached the crowd, his social anxiety screaming at him to turn back and hide in the shadows again. He stuttered through the first interaction, but the stranger smiled kindly, breaking the ice and proving his fears were largely in his head. With each new person he spoke to, the heavy weight on his chest lightened, and he realized people were generally kind and open. By evening, he had spoken to 10 people, feeling a strange new energy flowing through his veins, a spark of hope igniting. He returned to the riverbank, telling the old man that the barrier of communication was not as impenetrable as he once thought. For the second day, the wise man pointed to a group of playing children and said, "Teach them about the importance of water." The young man protested, feeling he knew nothing worthy of teaching, but the old man insisted that sharing knowledge is a powerful act. He gathered the curious children around him, his voice trembling slightly as he began to explain how water gives life to everything. As he spoke, he forgot his insecurities, focusing entirely on the wonder in the children's eyes and the importance of his message. He realized that one does not need to be perfect to contribute value, and that teaching is truly the best way to learn. The children thanked him with genuine smiles, filling a void in his heart that he didn't know existed until that very moment. That night, sitting by the fire, he felt a sense of worthiness he had never experienced under the harsh gaze of his father. On the final day, the old man gave the hardest task. Return home, face your father, and apologize for your past mistakes. Terror gripped him again. Facing strangers was one thing, but facing the source of his trauma was a mountain too high to climb. The wise man reminded him that running away solves nothing, and true freedom comes from facing the things that scare us the most. With trembling legs but a determined heart, he walked back to the house he was exiled from, ready to face his destiny. He stood before the imposing gate, took a deep breath to steady his nerves, and knocked firmly, waiting for judgment to come. His father appeared, looking stern and unforgiving. But the son did not look down. He looked straight into his father's cold eyes. He spoke clearly, apologizing not for being who he was, but for letting fear dictate his actions and losing the family trust. He stated he was ready to accept any consequence, but he would no longer live in the shadow of his own fear. The father was stunned by this new demeanor. The trembling boy was gone, replaced by a man who owned his actions completely. Slowly, the father's expression softened, realizing that his son had finally found the backbone he had tried so wrongly to force out. Instead of shouting, the father nodded, inviting his son back inside, marking the start of a new relationship built on mutual respect. The son returned to the river to thank the old man, but the wise elder was gone, leaving only the flowing water. He realized the old man was a catalyst, helping him unlock the strength that had been buried deep inside him all along. He understood that the greatest enemy was never his shyness, but the paralyzing fear that prevented him from trying anything new. The world perceives you as you present yourself. If you shrink back, you become small. But if you stand tall, you matter. Confidence is not a gift you are born with. It is a muscle built by stepping out of your comfort zone repeatedly. He became a successful leader not because he never felt fear, but because he learned to act boldly despite feeling afraid. Remember that courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it, a journey we must all take to grow. Thank you for watching Vital Life Stories. Subscribe for more inspiring tales of growth and resilience. See you in the next video.